A defenseless and disappointing game number 3 for the Celtics here at TD Garden as they fall to the Milwaukee Bucks 123 to 116. Mike Petraglia alongside Sierra Goodwill. The Celtics, Sierra, did not play any defense in that third quarter, and if you're looking for reasons that the Celtics fell short in this game number 3, you have to look to the third period once again.
Yeah, giving up 40 points in that third quarter is not going to cut it, especially when your bench isn't performing. I mean, Kyrie Irving had to pull the weight, 29 points. That's 29 points without a bucket scored in the second quarter. So he was really carrying this team through that struggling third quarter. Their defense fell completely apart, and that was the downfall for the Celtics tonight, as it has been many times this season.
A lot of fans are going to frankly bitch and moan about the calls in that third quarter going against the Celtics, the Bucks taking it to the line, taking it to the rack and getting the calls, but you have to also credit the Bucks for being aggressive in the paint, driving the basket, and really showing that will to get to the bucket.
Yeah, I mean, there's maybe a handful of bad calls there in the third quarter, but the reason they're going to be memorable to Boston fans is because of the timing of them when it seemed like a very pivotal point of the game. But when it comes to those foul calls this game, I think it was just the sheer volume that's the most frustrating. Over 60 attempts from the free throw line from both teams combined. It really prevented this game from having any sort of tempo that was maintained throughout. The pace was very strange. Neither team neither team could hit its stride, so it really hindered the intensity that this game could have had, and I think that's unfortunate.
This Garden Report after game number 3 of the Celtics Bucks brought to you by the great folks at betonline.ag. Go to clnsmedia.com/win and use the promo code CLNS50 for a 50% cashback bonus on your first deposit. Kyrie Irving, the 29 points you mentioned. How about Jason Tatum? Everybody wondered where his offensive game was in the first 2 games. Well, he had 20 points and 11 rebounds, and everybody in the starting lineup scored in double figures. Jaylen Brown was huge. Marcus Morris early in this game was huge. Jaylen Brown and Marcus Morris started this game combined 6 of 7 from three-point range, and still it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 main problems from game 2 were fixed. Kyrie Irving had an excellent game. Jason Tatum showed up, but what really killed them was the bench. Milwaukee's bench scored 42 points. The Celtics bench scored 16. That discrepancy is huge, and it's unacceptable for a team when you're facing the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference. You're going to need a supporting cast. Gordon Hayward, only 10 points tonight. He needs to show up in these situations. That's why they brought him here. And then the other 6 points from Semi Ojeleye when he was on Giannis Antetokounmpo, a tough task. He didn't play the best, drew a lot of fouls. I mean, he committed a lot of fouls, which again hindered the Celtics in the long term. But they're going to need a lot more of offensive production from their supporting cast if they want to get it done in Game 4.
Besides the nearly 30 points from Giannis in this game, what really stuck out to me in this game, Sierra Goodwill, was the 7 steals and the 6 block shots of the Milwaukee Bucks. They are doing a better job protecting the paint and getting to the bucket than are the Celtics.
Yeah, and obviously it seemed like Giannis was at the line a lot. He was at the line a lot tonight. Yeah. But the Milwaukee as a team, they drive to the cup a lot more, and they draw that contact because they're forceful and they're decisive in their decision to go in the paint. The Celtics aren't as decisive. They can't finish as well, and when they do go to the paint, they are not going with such force that the Bucks do, so they're not drawing that contact, which is why you see the discrepancy in the free throw department.
Right, Celtics win game number 1 by 22 points, but really rough sledding the last 2 games as they give home court advantage back to Milwaukee with this Game 3 loss at TD Garden by a score of 123 to 116. Really turns Monday night, I think, into a must-win situation for the Celtics. Obviously don't want to go back to Milwaukee for game number 5, down 3-1. We'll have you covered on clnsmedia.com. Again, the final, it was the Milwaukee Bucks 123 and the Celtics 116. Inside TD Garden for Sierra Goodwill, Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.